Mary did not need more content, more resources, or another tool. She needed the missing bridge between her message, her level 10 buyer, and that next paid step. I am thrilled to welcome Mary Whitman Ortiz to this session today. We're going to be talking about where she was before she grabbed the Kingdom Business Audit with me and what transpired during this time of working together. So, Mary, welcome. I'm so thrilled that you are here. Before we get into the questions, I would love for you to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I am the least likely person to be speaking boldly about sex in intimacy in a Christian marriage because that was not where my life was in the past. But as God has it, He brings a message out of your mess. And that's where I am now, having gone through some personal healing and additional professional training. And I'm a relationship coach and a Christian sex educator.
I love that. And I'm so thrilled to have been introduced to you because what you're doing is just absolutely amazing. And when you came into my world, you have had somewhat of a successful business. You have a podcast. You have, I think, been in business for close to 12 years. Was that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide to, or actually, the first question should be, where were you before you decided to grab this Kingdom Business Audit that you came across? So, before we worked together, what was going on in your business, in your mind? What really felt disconnected from what you knew deep inside that the Lord was asking you to do on this side of heaven?
Yeah, I had so many pieces and they didn't seem to be working. They didn't seem to be dovetailed well. And I didn't understand. I was just baffled that I was not having more success because I was like, okay, we've got the books and the podcast. I have 250 YouTube videos. Doesn't that count for something? And so I had done a lot of things, but it just was not all working together well. And I really needed the next, well, it wasn't the next step. It was the right step to bring all the pieces together.
Yeah. And what made you decide to book the audit? What were you hoping to get out of it when you signed up?
I had been very interested in Substack, that it was not the roller coaster that social media is, that it's very different. And I do like to write. And so there were many things that appealed to me. I wasn't ready to push go yet and was deciding, praying, all that. And then I saw one of your emails that said, another platform will not fix your situation if you have a leak in your message or your marketing, or, you need to know what your leak is before you try another platform. And that just stopped me in my tracks. I thought, I don't want to chase after the next thing if there are issues that I need to solve first.
Yeah, exactly. So you felt like something was missing. And
Yeah.
I love that you said that because when I got on Substack and I started to teach my clients inside the Business by God's Design Advisory and new clients that came to me how to position their message, their movement, their mandate on Substack as a trust pathway to their mid or high tickets, that is what the Lord revealed to me is that Substack's a vehicle, the Business by God's Design is a destination, but another platform, putting Substack just in front of a broken foundation isn't going to give someone that profitable, impactful business, one that creates consecutive revenue. And when people join the audit, I have them complete a form so I can really dig into their business. I just really like to go deep with my clients and dig in and find out where that missing piece is. And as soon as I did and started reading some of Mary's websites and seeing her assets that she already had, the number one thing that I realized that there was a messaging disconnect.
Mm.
She wasn't really talking to her level 10 buyer I mean, I could see myself in what she was trying to do, especially as a Christian woman, being married 17 years with 2 step kiddos. I mean, a blended family, that's never easy. So we had our ups and downs in marriage. So I was able to honestly kind of put myself in what she was doing. And when I looked under the hood, I realized, there's a disconnect. You weren't talking to your level 10 buyer. So when I started to bring that into your realm of realization, that I felt that you were talking to not your level 10 buyer. Yes, you want to help Christian couples create this fulfilling and mutual intimacy in their marriage. But when I said, hey, I think we should be talking to just the woman here and position her on the front end of your business to work on her wants and needs. What did that feel like for you? And what was the biggest thing I think we uncovered in your words?
Oh boy. I It's almost like you're going shopping and you say, "I'll know it when I see it." When you're looking for the perfect gift for someone. So when you pointed that out, it made me go, "Wow, those are the feelings that a woman is experiencing." That is sort of a place of desperation. And you described it as she's exhausted, lonely in her own bed, and been carrying the weight of everything going on in her marriage to the point that it felt like a second full-time job. And I'm like, that is so descriptive. It just resonated with me. And I knew that another woman could see herself in that. So that was, I thought, this is it. This is what we've got to be leading with.
Yeah. I love that breakthrough that you did have. I mean, I could just feel your whole body just relax, at
Mm,
peace come over you when you realize that the broader brand, you could still serve Christian couples, but when we activated your message to speak
mm,
directly to that wife carrying the weight, the woman that felt lonely, guilty, resentful, shut down, she was that level 10 client, that wife that was carrying it all. And when we really dug into that, some of the tools and resources that you had were more like tools, and it felt like work how the copy was worded. And
mm,
we knew, like, really digging into that level 10, the woman who's at 2 a.m. researching what is going to help her because she's already done the things. She's already
mm,
tried the books. She's listened to the podcast. She's done the marriage retreats. She didn't need more tools. She wasn't looking for a 12 topic marriage curriculum. She was looking for a place that she could feel safe and have permission to
yeah.
exhale, right? And she just needed someone to give her permission to name that what she was carrying was something that she didn't have to be shameful about
Mm.
feeling that way. So when we dug into that, that was one of the biggest shifts that you had. What clicked when we identified this woman carrying that weight? What was the big shift that you had?
The clarity, the peace, the sense that the pieces can go together. All the work that I've done creating all these things, knowing the right place and knowing that some of them needed to be put on the back burner. Some of them could be modified and reused or repurposed, but it was relief that okay, someone else with objective eyes and expertise can guide me through this because I clearly was not being able to make it happen on my own and fresh because 2026 is very different than 5 to 10 years ago. And you have to go with that flow and be able to speak to people where they are. So it really resonated with me.
Yes, exactly. You have been in business for a very long time. You've seen the ebbs and flows of the marketplace and how 2026 is so different due to AI and all of that now, where we don't even know what's real anymore. So I love that you brought that in. We're in a different era. After we went through this and we discussed how it could possibly line up and really who you should start speaking to, What was the first thing you felt ready to implement after the audit that was just like, ah, I can now do this XYZ thing?
Describing her pain points in a very authentic way,
Yeah.
that it wasn't something that was strange or awkward or foreign for me. I could really put myself into that place and just I began experimenting the very next day. How can I say this? How can I personalize it? How can it just roll off my tongue in different interviews that I've had since then and simple beginning posts even before I have started in the whole plan.
Amazing. And you mentioned at the beginning of this that you were interested in using Substack, but just wasn't quite sure how everything fit in.
Yes.
So I also added a little bit of how I position Substack for my clients based on the audit, based on our conversation. And we came up with the permission room and the paid tiers to be kind of this permission room, a trust pathway for women who need to feel safe before or even really pull back the onion layers of who they are and why they're feeling this way before they invest in something high ticket. So before this, Substack could have felt like just another tech platform, a social media platform that we have to post on, which we know that it's not. But how did this shift when we positioned the permission room as that trust pathway into your higher ticket offers, either with this woman and then eventually with these couples?
Well, I've always used language that I provide a safe space for women, for couples to talk. So it was that idea, but framing it as the permission room really addressed that deep place. Because if a woman has gone through any type of shame regarding sex, and that's like almost 100% of women on some level or another, they've not allowed themselves that place. And knowing that first step, if I can create that first step for a woman to identify things, then that is, wow, such a gift to her. And it's such an honor to be there when someone else is having their aha and beginning to see how life could be differently. And the dreams they've had on the back burner can really come to life again.
Yeah, it is. It's one thing that I just really loved to see you get that clarity and understanding because you have such a heart for these women and these couples. I absolutely love that. And I'm honored to have played a part in this journey of clarity for you. So before we wrap up and before we give our listeners a gift from you and where they can connect with you, before the audit, you knew that there's some missing pieces, you weren't quite sure what because we're just way too close to ourselves sometimes. We can't
Mm.
see our own blind spots. But after the audit, what felt clearer? I know it was your message and the ideal client, the level 10
Yes.
specificity of that level 10 or the ideal client. But in your words, what really felt clearer for you?
To have a plan that was laid out in steps and doable, not overwhelming. I specifically said what you had described was inviting and not overwhelming. And I was very excited to begin and to say, "Hey, I think this will work. I think this is something that I don't even know all the ins and outs yet of Substack, but I know enough to say this looks too good to not try."
Amazing, yes. Then that's what it is, right? Business is about trying and testing and making changes when we get feedback from our people. So I love that. What would you say to another amazing Kingdom Woman entrepreneur who's considering the business audit?
Oh my goodness, do it. Sign up today. It is the best advice, support, guide, intuitive, Holy Spirit led session that I have had in a business realm because you were just, you gave yourself to it. You gave me so much information, Kristen, and I know that other women would totally benefit from it.
Thank you. Amazing. I appreciate that so much. All glory and honor definitely goes to Holy Spirit and our Heavenly Father as well. I love that. So, Mary, I know that there will be some women listening that are saying, this is for me. I finally found the person that can help me with intimacy in my marriage, with my sex life, and just really finding out why we're struggling so much as a couple, but also how can I work on myself? So, where can they connect with you and what free resource do you have for them?
Yes, I'm so excited to partner with women in this. My website is limitlessintimacy.com. And right there on the front page, there is a quiz, a free quiz. What's my intimacy type? It's 10 questions. It's very simple, helps you to identify some of your beliefs about sex, some of the patterns you've seen in your life, and then you will immediately get a response with some next steps that you can take to make intimacy easier to get to, more enjoyable. So that's on limitlessintimacy.com. And then I'm also on Instagram and Facebook with my name, Mary Whitman Ortiz.
Amazing. Well, we'll link up everywhere you can connect with Mary, and we'll also link up that website so you can grab the quiz as well. Mary, this has been absolutely amazing. Do you have any last minute words you would like to leave your level 10 ideal client who may possibly be listening right now?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so glad you're here because God knew you needed encouragement today, and He is always ever present to give us just what we need. And if you are wanting to grow that place of intimacy that feels authentic, I can absolutely help you.
I also want to invite you to step inside Mary's new Substack publication, The Permission Room. This is a free publication for Christian wives who are tired of carrying the weight of intimacy alone. The woman who feels lonely, guilty, resentful, shut down, or confused, and wants a biblically shame-free path back to safety and joy. Inside the Permission Room, Mary is creating a place for you to exhale, untangle what you've been carrying, and begin seeing yourself, your body, your marriage, and intimacy through a more honest and grace-filled lens. And for the woman who knows she's ready to go deeper, you will also be able to upgrade into the Permission Room Inner Circle, the private space behind the publication, with monthly teaching, live Permission Room gatherings, anonymous Q&A, private audio reflections from Mary, and gentle conversation starter practices. We'll make sure all of those links are linked up in the show notes so you can connect with Mary, take the quiz, and join the Permission Room, and explore the inner circle if that feels like your next step. And for my Kingdom Business women listening, if you're sitting on a message, a mandate, a Substack idea, or a body of work that you know God has called you to steward, but the pieces are not yet coming together, I would love to support you. You can connect with me inside the Kingdom Lens, grab a Kingdom Business audit, or explore the Substack Authority and Monetization Intensive, just like Mary did, if you're ready to build Substack as a trust pathway into your mid or high ticket offers. Mary did not need more content, more resources, or another disconnected platform. She needed the bridge between her message, her level 10 buyer, and that next paid step. And that is exactly what we uncovered together. Thank you so much for listening. Delete. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I pray that this episode gave you clarity, confirmation, and the courage to move forward with the message God has placed in your hands. We'll see you in the next episode.